Today I thought I'd sit down and talk about a subject that's kind of interesting to me, and that's Grail pens. Um, what is a Grail pen? That's a good question, isn't it? Some people might say it's an expensive pen, or others might say it's a pen that's hard to get nowadays. Could be a limited edition from a few years back that's no longer in stock anywhere, and you would really love to have one for your collection, but it's just missing. So that could be a Grail pen that involves searching and hunting and luck and everything like that. And of course, yes, most common uh, quality of a Grail pen is expense. A very expensive pen that's just out of your price range or comfort range. So that's a Grail pen. Or if you have unlimited resources, well, once again, you go back to the rarity. It's a pen that's no longer made, or very old, and you're looking for one in pristine condition. It could be about what shape the pen is. It could be 100-year-old pen, but you want one that's in mint condition, new old stock, so to speak. So those are Grail pens, and I'm kind of curious about it myself because I keep thinking, what is my Grail pen? And so I'm going to just go through some pens in my collection, and the reason I put these out here is, in some ways, some of these pens could be considered Grail pens for some people. And I recently got a pen, or a Grail pen could also be defined as that one pen that's all you need. And for whatever reason, you get this pen, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I don't need all my other pens. This is the one pen. And that could be any pen you have that you find, and for some reason it works in a certain way, or it does something for you, or it has a memory associated with it, and it becomes a Grail pen. So that's that one pen, the Grail pen. So I'm going to just chat about some pens here. Now, I have some nice pens, and I have some, inexpensive pens, and I'm interested in all types of pens. So one of the first Grail pens I probably got was my Lamy 2000, and I love this pen. And yes, this is a Grail pen for many people, and it could be considered a Grail pen if you're collecting pens and into them, because it's an iconic design, and your collection might not be complete without a Lamy 2000 in it, because it's been around since 1966. It's a very well-known pen. It's expensive in some ways. Yes, it's a gold nib, and yeah, it's expensive, but it's not. You can save up for it, and so on, right? So that's my first Grail pen. It was like early in my fountain pen addiction, and I knew about this pen, and I wanted it, and I got it, and I managed to get it, and that's a Grail pen. And if you're trying to put a nice collection together, a Lamy 2000 is one pen that you should have, in my opinion. For some people, because fountain pens can be expensive, and this might be their Grail pen, a beautiful TWSBI Echo, because it could be the one pen you need. It works well. It does everything you need it to do. It writes very beautifully, holds a ton of ink, and they come in many colors, so you could find that one pen. That's all you need. And this could be the Grail pen for you. You might not need another pen after getting this one. It holds a ton of ink, writes beautifully, it's an interesting looking pen, it's going to last a long time, works perfectly every time you pick it up. That could be a Grail pen. Of course, rarity is another thing. So this is an Aurora 88P, an Italian pen from the 1960s, inspired by Parker 51. Aurora had a number of variations of this pen, so somebody could be collecting these pens, and a lot of people do. And they're not inexpensive. I got lucky finding this one. But, if you're putting together a collection of Aurora 88s, chances are there's going to be several in that lineup that's a Grail pen for you. And it's a rare pen, and it's hard to get at a good price and in good quality. And this is it has seen some wear, this pen, but it writes beautifully, and it's in excellent shape. except for a little ding right here or two. But other than that, it's a lovely pen. And if you're collecting Aurora 88s, there's going to be one in the lineup that's hard to find, and that'll be a Grail pen for you. Same here with the Pelikan 12 Silvexa, 1965. If you're collecting, Pelikan pens from that era, there's going to be one or two in the lineup that you're going to have a hard time finding. So it becomes a Grail pen. Also, you might get this pen and realize it's the only pen you need. You don't need any other pens. It writes perfectly. It's beautiful to look at. It's all you need. Right? So, looking at all these pens, you could think, oh, well, my Grail pen is a Mont Blanc, 149 or something like that. Very expensive pen. But it's, it could be, so it's a Grail pen. And it's not necessarily one that I really want at the moment, and if I desperately wanted a Mont Blanc 149, I just wouldn't have bought a few of these pens and would have been able to afford one. So, take a few of these off the table, and I'd get myself a Mont Blanc, right? This here is a TWSBI VAC 700R Iris, and it's a limited edition. And someday, this will be a Grail pen for some people because I don't know how many more they're making or if they're still in production, but it's supposedly a limited edition. When something's a limited edition, people add them into their collection. So this and it's not an inexpensive pen, so this could be a Grail pen if you're a TWSBI collector and you're trying to get all the colors. It might not be available in your store, but I can still locate this in Charlottetown at the Bookmark if you're looking for one. So anyway, beautiful pen, and if you're a TWSBI fanatic, it might be something that you're missing in your lineup and you're desperately trying to find, and that's a Grail pen. The same goes for these two this lovely Pilot right here, the Pilot Capless. Not an inexpensive pen in some ways. I got it on sale, luckily, so I was able to afford it. Pilot Capless is a gold nib. Not the most expensive gold nib in some ways. It's an entry level. It could be considered an entry level gold pen. But if you're new to the hobby and you're trying to justify your first gold nib and it's expensive and you're I don't want to, I'm still new to the hobby, but I'd like to get a gold nib someday, and maybe this will be the one you get. So that becomes a Grail pen, and that first gold nib is a Grail pen. When you're ready to take that leap into a gold nib, step up, so to speak. From using the starter pens to the mid-range pens and getting into your first gold nib. So your first gold nib, whatever it is, can be considered your Grail pen, right? This is a classic design. It's the Pilot E95S. Beautiful design, and there's vintage versions of this, the Pilot Elite. So those could be considered Grail pens. Yes, it's because of its expense or something like that. And sometimes this pen here, I don't believe you can get it in certain markets. So somebody might, I don't know if it's available in Europe. Somebody was telling me that they couldn't get one in Europe, and they desperately wanted one. And, so they'll have to order from overseas, and maybe they're not ready to order over, from Japan or United States, or because of customs, but that could be a Grail pen because of its limited market for certain areas. Recently, though, I got this pen, the Pilot Custom 74, soft medium nib, and I have lovely pens and I love them all. And man, when I started using this pen, I had that moment where I'm thinking, wow, this is essentially all I need. This is the pen, this is the pen I was looking for. I got it in black and gold. I got it from a seller in Japan, Pensachi. This color isn't really available around here. I'm not too sure if this color is available in North America, so there's a rarity or a lack of availability. I could still get it by ordering it online. So when I used this pen, I was, I ordered a soft nib. I wanted something just, a little bit of flex, not flex, but a little bit of spring to it. And it's just amazing to write with. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this is B1 pen. If I had gotten this early in my fountain pen hobby, would I have needed to get any more pens? I don't know. It's that good, and I love it. But me being me, I do have lots of pens, and sometimes I see a new pen that comes on and I'm curious about it, so I'll probably be getting more pens, yes. And but I was thinking, what would be my Grail pen now after getting this pen, this Pilot Custom 74, that in some ways is the only pen I really need, but not necessarily the only pen I want. And I was thinking about Grail pens. What would I have? What's on my list? And it's a very short list at the moment. And I don't have images or anything like that. I'm just gonna write down what they are, really. So, keeping with the Pilot theme, I love lots. I'm a big TWSBI fan. I'm a big Lamy fan. But this pen put Lamy at #1 in my esteem, so to speak. It became the pen that just put Pilot on top. I've always had a high appreciation for Pilot. They make just excellent nibs, like from the Pilot Metropolitan, which is like an introductory pen, starter pen for so many people, up to their most expensive pens. They're just a great company, and I love their designs. They're classic designs, and so if I was to get, and it's funny, it's not necessarily even about really, you could make a list and put the most expensive pen in the world on it, but to me that doesn't seem, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's something that I can achieve is also a Grail pen. So I'm going to go with another Pilot, of course, the Pilot Custom 823. Pilot Custom 823. Looks, in many ways, very similar to this. It's a clear, the one I want would be the amber color. You can, it's almost, you can see into the workings of the pen, and it's a vacuum filler. So quite a different mechanism for what Pilot usually uses. Most Pilots are cartridge converter fillers, but the Pilot Custom 823 has a back filler, I believe it's called. Yeah, back filler, and that would be on my list of my next Grail pen. And it's a very similar pen to this in many ways. Might be a little bigger. I'm not too sure exactly the size, but it's very similar. But I really like the look of it, even though it's rather sedate. But I would probably go also, and then the next thing would be, what kind of nib would I like, right? So I'd probably go with a broad nib. I don't really have a broad, and I would like to try one. Maybe if I was to get an 823, I'd go with a broad. That's actually something I didn't mention before. Sometimes a nib also contributes to your Grail pen. And okay, so the next one, the next pen would be a Pelikan. And I thought long and hard about this. A lot of people would jump straight to the 1000, the Pelikan M1000, a very large pen. But for me, I think I would probably go more to the M600. I like smaller pens. I don't like a huge pen. So the Pelikan M600 would actually be a pen that I would really like, I think. Size-wise, it's not the smallest. Even the M400, I would probably be absolutely delighted with the size. Because I'm really, I like vintage pens, and they tend to run smaller. So that would be one of the pens, in that size. There's, different sizes and things like that. So, yeah, there's the M800 that I think think the M600 would be the one I'd want. And also, these are not out of reach by any means. I just wouldn't have to buy pens for a little while, like a year or half a year or something like that. And then it would just be a matter of like, the special occasion that I would need to get a celebratory pen like that, birthday or something like that. So those are the two pens that are on my Grail list. Isn't that funny? You know? And so, you know, actually there's probably the Waterman Karen would be another one on my list. I'd like that. But anyway, so you know what I do? Quite often, this is going to sound weird, when I'm, you know, thinking about this pen hobby I have and how I justify it and, and how I don't make it totally unreasonable. Is what I do is I have a pen jar, and it's quite literally a mason jar, and I stuck a label on it saying pen jar, punched a hole in the lid, and every now and then when I have a bit of change, I toss it in the jar. And if I'm saving up for a pen, I don't open the jar until I have enough money to, you know, say, hey, I got the money for the pen. And I buy ink and stuff like that too out of this jar. And you know, I'm always just, because you always have like $5 just in your pocket, you know, or whatever. And sometimes, you know, I get paid for a job or something like that, and I put most of the money into the bank, and the other bit goes into the jar. You know, $5-10 goes into the jar at a time or something like that. And I save up. So that's, you know, that's one way to do it. And it's like, it's a visual thing in some ways. It's a visual goal, so to speak. It's like, if you fill this up and you get so much money in it, you can get that Grail pen. So, you know, or that next pen that you're getting, whatever it is. So that's what I do. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to ask you, I'm kind of curious, if you had, what's your Grail pen, okay? What are you know, somebody might have more than one, but I'm really interested in hearing it. What is your Grail pen? Do you have any suggestions? Are any of these pens your Grail pen? Is Metropolitan your Grail pen in a certain color, or you know, is the most expensive Mont Blanc your Grail pen? Do you already have your Grail pen? That's the other thing. Do you already have your Grail pen, and do you need any other pens after achieving your Grail pen? That's quite an interesting thing to me. Do you need any, if you got your Grail pens, are you buying other Grail pens? Are you buying other pens, or have you added a new pen to your list? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just me chatting. And anyway, if you like it, give it a thumbs up and comment in the suggestion in the comments below. I like to hear what people say. And I'd really love it if you'd subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Anyway, so thank you. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.